Welcome to lecture 4 of circuits theory. In the last class, we have seen about the two essential laws which generally we are using in the solving of circuits, that is Kirchhoff's voltage law, Kirchhoff's current law. We have verified by taking one example. Also, we have checked whether power balance really can satisfy, power balance really is there or not, right? So from that we can conclude that in any circuit, whether it is R, L or C, KVL, KCL must satisfy for all the time, and also power balance must have to be there. Also we conclude that it is not necessary that always the energy source will deliver the power. It may happen that the energy source may absorb the power also, right? Next, we seen something about the voltage source and current source. So voltage source, there may be ideal voltage source or practical voltage source, which is nothing but the battery. If we go to shop and we'll buy the battery, that is nothing but act as voltage source, right? And how is the structure of voltage source? It is some value of E with some internal resistance R. Okay, and to this we'll connect the load resistance, right? AO. And what is the characteristic for ideal VI characteristic for voltage source will be fixed E, whereas in practical source, what will happen if I'll connect here, there will be some drop, right? And this drop depends on the value of R. Again, it is to be noted that value of R, if it is as small as possible, it is good for us, because if R is small and let us say the battery is specified of the 20 volt, but R is so large that I am getting only let's say 5 volt in my load. So what is the use? It's of no use for me, right? So in order to satisfy that, also your R to be as minimum as possible. Fine. This is what we have seen. Now, in order to understand the current source, we have also seen that in another perspective, that if let's say there is a switch, and if switch is open, then what will happen? Your VAO will be equal to the E value, right? Or the battery value, battery voltage value. And instead, if I'll connect this switch here, so what will happen? There will be the current flow, and what is the value of this? This will be E by R plus RL, and this equation we have interpreted in another way. We have done some sophisticated mathematics, and we seen that E by R, and this was 1 plus RL by R. And again, we know this is the inherent parameter of the battery, so that we put it as ISC. And this, if you write, this will be R plus RL, and it is nothing but this. So the current in load resistance will be equal to the total current ISC into R plus upon R plus RL. So this also I can interpret that if I would like to draw the circuit, there will be some value of current which will be ISC, and whose value will be the value obtained from the battery parameters, which is inherent, right? So let me draw that value as ISC, and what is the magnitude of M? This is the battery parameters E by R. And now there will be two resistors. One is your internal resistance connected in parallel with your load resistance. This is what the thing. So from this battery, I can interpret that it will be acting as a voltage source, right? So it will be acting as the voltage source, right? And also it will be giving me the current of value ISC, which is E by R. So again, that also I can say that this also can be act as the current source from it, right? Okay. Now let us see. Suppose I have the current source like this. Okay, say my value is 5 ampere, and to this I have terminals A and B, and suppose this terminal I kept it open. See, the meaning of this arrow is current is entering or current is going in this direction. Okay, now suppose these terminals are open, so what will happen? Okay, if the terminals are open, means I will say that my current source is, let's say, open circuited, open circuit. Okay, so what will happen here? What will be the potential difference between A and B? Here nothing is there. Open circuit means my resistance or load resistor will be very large, means it is infinite. Okay, if it is infinite, so what will be the voltage drop, or what will be the voltage across AB? It will be 5 into infinite, means it will be infinite amount of voltage drop. So very high voltage I'll get it if I'll put it the current source in open circuit, right? If I'll put the current source as open circuit, right? So what is to be done when it is in use? You can connect it for that purpose, or if you are not using the current source, what simply such that instead of that you just short circuit it. That's it. So that it will avoid to have the infinite voltage drop, right? Similarly, for the current source, what you can do? Okay, this is what the current voltage source of E. If you make it short circuit, what will happen? There is E by R, which is I, and if R is raised, infinite amount of current will flow. So to avoid that, always voltage source kept is at open circuit. Fine. This just I wanted to tell. Okay. And also it is to be noted that ideal voltage source. So with this, also we can say the ideal voltage source is very difficult to transform into ideal current source or vice versa. Okay. Now we'll take it one example, one or two examples where we'll see the current source and how can we solve that. Yeah. So suppose this is my circuit. I have, let's say, voltage source connected with resistor value, and now I assume that there is the current source present, and this will be connected with some resistor, and this value is, let me specify, 20 volt, suppose 3 ohm, and this is my 6 ohm resistor, and current is, let's say, 2 ampere. Okay, now let us label it. So this is my, now the question is, let us define what is the problem is to find out all the currents, okay, and do the power audit, or I have to check whether power balance is there or not by inserting one current source like this. Okay, so here if I'm saying, if I am observing that there is a current source, okay, I'm very happy with it because I know the current in this branch. I don't have to find out extra, I don't have to do extra work to find out the current in this branch, right? So suppose this is my current, so what will be current in this branch? Say I is the current in this branch, so how much it will be? It will be I minus 2. Okay, now let me label the drops also. Suppose this is my 1 voltage drop, here it is going this way, so suppose this is X volt. I don't know what is the voltage drop across the current source. Also let me assume this is also drop across the 6 ohm, right? So first what should I do? Let me find out how much is the value of I. So once I know the I can obtain the drops, and once I know all the drops, all voltage drops, I'll be able to find out the powers. Now again one more, let me label it O, A, B, and this node is suppose C. Okay, so suppose I, how can you calculate? So in this branch I know the current, so what I will do, I will exclude this branch and I will take it this loop, and let me write the KVL for it. So what it will be, if I'm going from 0 to O to A, it will be rise, so that is 20 volt, minus there is a voltage drop, how much it is, plus minus V1, so 3 into I, okay, minus 3 into I, again I will go here, again it is minus 6 into I minus 2, so the addition of all the voltages will be equal to 0, the algebraic sum of voltages will be 0 as we know. KVL, so if you solve, it will be 20 plus 12, it is 42, correct? Sorry, not 42, it will be 32, and this will be minus 9 I is 0, so this will be 32 by 9, and what is the value, 32 by 9, and which will be 3.55 amps. Okay, once I know I, what will be my I minus 2? I minus 2 will be 1.55 ion. Okay, and obviously at this junction B, your KCL will satisfy that 3.55, that is 2 plus 1.55, which will be 3.5, correct? So KCL satisfied here. Now let me obtain how much is the voltage drop across the current source. So what I have to do, I have to obtain the VBO, and if I would like to obtain VBO, what should either I can go from 0A to B, or I can go from 0C to B. So suppose I am going from this, so it will be voltage rise of 20 minus how much it will be, 3 into I. So minus 3 into I, that is minus 3 into I, that is 3.55, which will be 9.35 volt. Or if I am going from this to this, again the value remains same, that is it is voltage rise, so it will be 6 into I minus 2 current, it is 1.55, which is again close to 9.3 or 335 volt. Okay, now I know VBO. How much is V1? V1 also 3 into I, so 3 into 3.5, which will be 3 into 3.5, which will be 10.66 volt. Fine. And V2 will also 6 into 1.55, which is already we have calculated here, which is the 9.35. Now if I'll take the addition or of all the voltages in closed loop, obviously it will be 0. So K will also satisfy here. Right? Now, in order to do the power balance, let us check it. Let us do the power balance in this. So what is it? So as current is coming out from the positive terminal, so this source will deliver the power. So power delivered for 20 volt source will be 20 into its current is 3.55, so it comes out to 71 watt. And what is the remark? Better you write the remark, it will deliver the power. Now what I am observing, I am observing two resistors which will be absorb the power. So let me calculate. The power absorbed by 3 ohm resistor will be how much it is, the voltage drop is 10.66 into current is 3.55, it comes out 37.843 around approximately watts. So what is the remark? It will absorb the power, right? Okay. Similarly, let us calculate the power absorbed by 6 ohm resistor. So it will be again how much is the current, that is 1.55, sorry, 1.55 into how much voltage across it is 9.35. So if you multiply, it comes out to 14.5 watt. Okay. Now let us come to current source. So what I am observing here, that current is entering in from the positive terminal. So what will be, this will again the absorb power, right? So let me calculate the power absorbed by the current source, 2 ampere, how much it will be, current is 2, and how much is the voltage across it, that is 9.35, it comes out to be 18.7 watt. So this remark, this will also absorb power, this will also absorb the power. Okay, so now let us calculate the total delivered power and total absorbed power. So total power absorbed will be how much, this is 37.843 plus 14.5 plus 18.7, it comes out 17 point something 0043 watt. That may here one or two maybe the problem with that decimal number, and as I have rounded value, so maybe 0.01% may be there for the calculation, but I don't care about it because I rounded. If you calculate properly, you will get the exact value, right? So what I'm trying to say, that the power delivered by this source, voltage source, will be equal to the power absorbed by all the elements in the circuit. Hence, power balance is there in the circuit. Okay. So this way you can do this. Again, one more example. We'll take it to elaborate again the power balance very well. I've drawn it. Now I'll take the current source in outer loop. Okay. So suppose this is my voltage terminal. There is the resistor. Here one more resistor I have connected. One more resistor here, and the current source connected here. Okay. Terminal say value is 10 volt here. Then this is the 2 ampere value. This is the resistor of 1 ohm. Let's say this is 2 ohm, and suppose this is 3 ohm. Okay. So okay, this is the problem. Again, same. Find out all the branch currents as well. Do the power audit. So yeah, if I see the current source here, or this current branch, I know it. So if it is going, how will be the drop? Let's say like this, and let me come out from this way. So if I am taking this as one current I, what will be this value? This value will be I minus 2, right? I minus 2, correct? No? If this is I minus 2, correct? 2I minus 2 plus 2. Okay, this will be the junction B, O, A and C. Now first let me find out what is the value of I. So what can be done? As last time, we whatever we have done, we'll use that only. So instead of taking whole loop, let me take it this loop and let me apply the KVL here. Let us see what will happen. So this is voltage rise is 10 volt. So suppose this is my voltage drop V1 and this is my voltage drop V2, for example. So how much it is? Minus V1 I, that is I minus 2. Okay, minus 2 into I. Sorry, I'm sorry, this is my wrongly I have drawn. So this is minus 2. Okay, which is 0. So how much is this value? This value is 10. So this is 10 minus 3I plus 2. So this is 3I is 12, I is 4 amps, right? Okay, correct. So if I is 4 amps, this is 4 amp current is flowing in it. So how much will be I minus 2? It will be 2 ampere. Okay, so you can see now 4 ampere, this is 2 and this is 2, right? Okay, this is I minus 2 is 2 ampere, this is 2 ampere, which is 4 ampere. So KCL satisfied this one. Okay, now let me find out what is the value of VBO. So for VBO, let me go in this direction, for example. So this is 10 in this value. So voltage is 10 minus, how much it will be? Minus 2, correct? Because current is 2 amps current here. Okay, so 2 into 1, that is 2 volt. So it will be 8 volt is the value of VBO. Okay, now how much is the V1? Yeah, V1 already we know, that is V1 is 2, correct? Okay, this is my V1. Similarly, V2 I know. Now let me label V3. So V3 will be how much? This is 2 into this much. So how much is V3? 6 volt, right? Okay, now let me calculate how much is the voltage drop across this current source. Okay. Why the direction doesn't like this? Because I have assumed already that the polarities are like this. That's why it should be the polarity in the branch this way only. Okay. So how much is the voltage drop across it? So suppose in order to find out, let me consider this loop. So I'll go VCO will be, I'll go from O and reach to C. So from this to this, how much is the voltage? V2 is this much is how much? 8 volt, right? So 8, and from this to this again it is rising, so voltage rise here, so this is how much? 6. So VCO will be 14 volts. Okay, now if you do again, obviously it will satisfy the KVL. Now let me check the power balance. So what will be the power balance? Let us, as we have assumed the direction this way, so power delivered by voltage source 10 volt will be 10 into the current, that is the 20 watt. Okay, so what is the remark? That deliver it will deliver the power. Now this 3 resistors will definitely absorb it, so let us calculate one by one. So power absorbed by 1 ohm resistor, power absorbed by 1 ohm resistor will be, V is how much? 2, and current is 2, so it will be 4 watt. So it will absorb. Then power absorbed by 2 ohm resistor will be how much? How much is the voltage? That is 8, and how much is the current flowing? Is 4, correct? So 8 for the 32 watt. So again it will absorb. Then let me calculate the power absorbed by 3 ohm resistor, which it will be the, this is 6 and current is 2, so this will be 12. Is there one more remains? Yeah, this element over, this element over, this element finished, this also. Now what is remaining? This current source. Now let us check whether can we whether this source delivers or absorbs the power. So according to our polarities, what is observing, that the current is leaving from the positive terminal, so obviously this will again deliver the power. So let me check the power delivered by 2 amp source is how much. That is 14 is the voltage into 2, so that is 28 watt. Okay, so let us calculate the total amount of power delivered and total amount of power absorbed. So total delivered power is how much? Total delivered power is the power delivered by 10 volt, as well power delivered by 2 amp source. So it will be 20 plus 28 watt. Yeah, here I have forgotten to write the delivery mark. So 20 plus 28, it will be 48 watt, right? And simultaneously I will calculate total absorbed power, which will be 32 plus 24. No, 12 plus 4, correct? This will be. So it is again the 48 watt, right? So it is saying that total delivered power is 48 watt and also absorbed power is 40 watt. So whatever the power has been delivered, all the power has been consumed by the elements present in it. So it satisfies the power audit, it satisfies the power audit, right? Okay. So we stop here. In next class, we will see the another methods. How can we again quickly find out the solution? Because here what happened here, as already we discussed, using the Kirchhoff's voltage law and Kirchhoff's current law, you can find out all the currents and the voltages for every branch or for every element in the circuit. But if the circuit is more complicated, then it is very difficult. I mean, I can find it out, but it will be difficult to compute the currents and voltages. It will take some time. So what should I do? Okay, I will do something so that I will get the solution quickly, or I will find out the values of the current and voltages as quickly as possible. So there are the methods. That one very well known the method is the nodal analysis, and next is mesh analysis. So in next class we will see that. Now we stop. Thank you very much.